Jason, let me know if you see Matt's picture.
I'm on the Facebook page. I guess I don't know how to tell. Yep, we're live.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome back to another episode of Decision Pints. Today we've got a special guest, Matt Pipkin, social entrepreneur extraordinaire. Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Thanks, buddy.
And we're cheersing to a Fresh Coast IPA of Payette Brewing.
Here, here. It's a nice long silence intro of a video, huh?
It's good.
I always take a water bottle when I do a talk with a small mouth, so it's really quick.
Great. Well, we're so happy to have you here today. So you have done so many things, and it kind of, in my life, it's rooted back towards seeing the Ignite Boise live launch of Commit 65 in your social entrepreneur career.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about how did you decide, I'm just going to take action, I'm going to do it?
Yeah, I was at a point in life where I just felt like, it was a low point where I'd lost all my money in real estate, and I was wondering what value I brought to the world, and this big idea to break this ridiculous world record was presented to me, and I latched onto it, attaching it to my cause of child sexual abuse, something I went through as a kid, and it was just one of those, well, I'm 24, 25, what do I have to lose sort of thing, and I really had nothing to lose. So I went for it and shared my story publicly for the first time and went after this crazy idea, which pivoted since, but really is what I have to thank for getting me to where I am now. So,
right, and I think the ambition that you have is it's motivating for others. It's rejuvenating, refreshing. People love to know what you're doing and what you're up to. And I know we were all captivated sitting in the audience.
My mom,
yeah,
my grandma sometimes,
and so many others. But I remember sitting there, and there's these hand-drawn sketches of Matt Pipkin up there talking about breaking a world record and spending 65 days in an airplane above, without touching ground, to set a world record to raise awareness for a great cause of breaking the stigma of child sexual abuse and having conversation, people being comfortable with it. And you are a person who drives change, and we want to know more about what it is that makes you do it.
I don't know. I just think if you only live one time, and I really want to make it count, and I think we all do, right? And so I happened to start at the right time, I think, in life where I didn't have so much to lose. But I don't know. I think, I just want to do well with whatever I do. And I was at this place where I really needed to make an impact and see it. And I think we all have that in us where we need to see what we bring to the world, and we need to feel like we contribute something. So this was my way, and pivoted from that because I realized that was so inward focused. We brought eyeballs into us using this extravagant idea that would create conversation but short term, and so we pivoted and have built a real organization out of it, which is focused on putting the burden on others to do something and put the focus on them, really, so it's not about me, and makes the cause a heck of a lot more effective, I'll tell you.
Okay, and I think you talk about, the big ideas are there, but the execution of building an organization is
and
you've been grinding.
It can't be about me. It's got to be about why we're doing it and giving people a way to do it.
Which is awesome. And you're grinding every day. You're asking to meet people. You're flying to go and sit with huge heads of organizations and championing the cause and the organization. And, I mean, what's that like? Is there a book? How did you decide? How did you know that this is the way to go about building an organization?
I don't know what I'm supposed to do this afternoon, to be honest. I think it's just a matter of taking the one step in front of you that you can take, and then figuring out what the next step is. Because the whole time I've been learning as I go, and I've made a point to go seek advice from people who I knew would really know what they're talking about. That's been a really valuable thing. But just taking that one step. It's easy to look at the whole pie or the whole big goal and get overwhelmed, because that's overwhelming for any of us. But you can't eat a whole pie in one bite. So you just take one bite at a time.
Yeah, right? Good advice. Yeah. So moving into the pivot and looking at Speak Your Silence
Yeah.
and the stitch. Let's talk a little bit about the origin of the stitch and how that fits into your
The
cause.
cat hair just blew into my nose right when you asked that. Thanks to my shirt. So Speak Your Silence is cheers.
Here's love cats.
Speak Your Silence is the nonprofit that I started. We're focused on breaking the stigma of child sexual abuse and taking it from being this awkward taboo issue and turning it into a cause that people can actually be excited to champion. And so we created the stitch. This was an idea I had that I knew was either a really great idea or just one of the many that I'll never execute on because you just cancel them out and realize, nope, that's not the way. But this one's really worked. It's physically symbolic of your voice frequency when you wear it. So it's a really subtle way for people to support a cause that's actually takes a lot of guts to support this cause because it's one of those where it's not like an arm's length cause like digging wells in Africa, which is very important, but you've probably never been affected by lack of clean water. So that's one that you can support without people assuming that you've been affected by it. Whereas sexual abuse, the automatic assumption is, well, if you wear the stitch, did something happen to you as a kid? So that's something we combat every day, but this has been our solution to spark conversations that could never be sparked by us and give people a tool to change the lives of people sitting right next to them.
It's just awesome. I mean,
Thanks, man.
it's a brilliant step and piece of everything that you've got going on, and proud to keep up with all the great things you're doing.
Thanks, man.
And to wear the stitch.
Yeah, the sticker.
now, there's a real stitch here.
With two little strands.
Yeah. Well, next time I'm gonna prep and have the shirt off when I'm sewing. So, going back to your ambition, and you mentioned that you had a lot of ideas and a lot of things, and I thought, this is a good time to do a little bit of word association. So, I'm just going to say a word, and then you come up with whatever comes to mind.
Man.
All right. So, paddle.
Board.
Okay, paddle board. Yeah. But I was hoping you'd say paddle ball, because one of my favorite stories of all time is I came into the Java coffee shop, and you've got a collection of people sitting around the table, all intently working, and you are scheduling 65 simultaneous people at different universities doing 65 hours of paddleball.
Yeah, you know how effective that one was? I should have listened to my now wife when I told her the idea. I thought it was brilliant. She said, I don't think so. I thought, no, you're wrong. You're obviously wrong. So I've learned to listen when she automatically thinks an idea sucks. Listen to that, even if it's going to upset me.
I don't know. I'll be on the other shoulder just trying to give you some cheers. That, why don't we paddleball more?
Yeah, that was a rough one.
No, it is great, and I just, over the years, I know there was a time where I was at another coffee shop and was meeting someone who was new to Boise, and one of the highlights I was talking about in Boise was this Matt Pipkin who's making things happen, and you were standing right there.
I was waiting.
You were listening, and
it's like I know if someone mentions my name, hello, here I am.
There he is. He's magic. He's everywhere. But it's great. We love the things that you're doing, and as we work to wrap up a quick show here, we like to give an endorsement.
Oh man!
And it's under hashtag kinda guy who.
Kinda guy.
Kinda guy. So Matt Pipkin, kinda guy who. It is impossible not to be smiling when you're hanging around. He's always laughing, having fun, doing great things, and making a difference in the world. So,
thanks, man.
Cheers to you.
Well, thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me on here. This is fun. It's got me out of working.
Great. And we'd also like to thank DTX Creative, David Cleverton, 360 Immersive, Tom, for all the support and helping us put this together. Thank you so much, and thanks to all that tuned in, and we'll tune in and watch the recording.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Take care. My mom might be the only one.